Hey, good morning, half-asters. Today we're going to be looking at some small Class Bs from Thor. There's 4 units we're going to be looking at. They're all small, they're on the Promaster chassis, and they're all less than $100,000. Now, before you start typing on your keyboards in the comments about Thor, yes, we have heard that Thor has a lot of issues with build quality over the years, and they do not have the best reputation. However, they do come in at a lower price point than a lot of comparable models. So you have to make that decision of whether or not you're willing to risk buying an RV that may or may not have reliability or maintenance issues, or if you want to spend a little bit more to go with one of the other manufacturers that may also have reliability and maintenance issues. So it's a tightrope.
It's a toss-up.
It's a tightrope walk. Yes. All right, but we're going to look at those right after these important messages from the half-assed RVers, half-assed travelers. That's us.
Hey there, I'm Rose.
And I'm Dan. And we are the half-assed travelers.
The first Class B we're going to be looking at today is the Thor Rize 18M. This is also the smallest of the vans that we're going to be looking at. This is a very compact unit. It's on the Promaster chassis, and those generally run smaller than those on the Ford or the Mercedes, definitely the Mercedes chassis. They pack a lot into this small space though, as you're going to see. So let's go inside and take a look. We want to mention one thing before we go inside is if you check out the awning, a lot of times you'll see the LED light strip that is on the outside of the awning. This one is along the van. I kind of like that. It provides the light from a different direction. It's a little bit different. The door is not an automatic door. We like that too. Sometimes the automatic doors can be kind of a pain, and you know what? It's something else that can break. We really don't mind the manual door. There's a nice running board and step here. There's also the zipper down bug screen, although it does have something that Rose isn't very fond of. We call this the Widowmaker, this step, because how many times do we trip over these things when we're doing these RV reviews if we don't know where they're there or we're not paying attention? Luckily, you know, you're just going to bash your head or run right into the seats, and they're pretty padded. The benefit of having this step though is that you get some extra storage as long as this bedpost isn't in the way, and it does slide back so you can open the drawer all the way. These look like stapled drawers. That's pretty much standard for Thor, and it's also one of the things that we complain about the most with this particular manufacturer. Let's go take a look in the cockpit. Oh, that wasn't me, that was the seat. All right, it's the standard Promaster chassis or Promaster cockpit. It's got the large screen, which we like, and we like the shifter right here. Everything is right in front of you. It's really easy. Now, whenever you're in one of these Promasters, and really in any Class B, you want to make sure that the driver's seat has full range of motion. A lot of times they'll put a bathroom or something behind the driver's seat and it doesn't go all the way back. So let's test it. Okay, looks like it does go all the way back. However, you also want to look behind because you see where the lagoon table is. It's pushing into the back of the leather. That could be a problem over time. It could cause wear if you're going to keep that table mounted while you're driving and using the driver's seat. The good thing is I believe these seats rotate, so you can use that table as well. There's storage over top of the visors and some lights up here. And there's also storage up over top of the driver's compartment. All right, right behind the driver's seat, well, you saw we've got this lagoon table, which is mounted there, and this thing kind of can rotate in many different ways. We love the lagoon table. It's got the sofa set up, and this turns into a bed. This piece slides out, and then you can use this entire area as a bed. All the cushions are here. There's also some cushions stored up above the driver's compartment. And this is a really neat feature. You got the little cushion, but it's got some cup holders in it. We really like that. That keeps them nice and sturdy. Let's talk about these windows, because we've seen these a lot in the Thor models, and it's kind of a pinch window, and it pops the window in, and then you can slide it back, and you see it's got a screen here. They're a little bit plasticky. I don't know if that's the proper word, but they seem a little bit not so heavy duty. They're very plasticky. I would have concerns about those leaking. I don't know if that's a concern, but I would definitely, if I was purchasing this RV, I would keep an eye on that. Also, it's got the nice shade here. Not up-down shades, this shade goes all the way down. But you can see this frame looks like it's kind of just bolted on. So it's not really,
Yikes.
yeah, we've seen a little bit better build quality in a lot of shades. This looks like it was just added as an afterthought. Up over top, we've got the normal cabinets. They are substantial hinges, however, no locks, Rose. We have no locks here. They just need to put a lock on here like Integra does and some of the other manufacturers just to keep it shut. If you got something really heavy in there, it could push the door open and then come crashing right out like we did with our laptop. But we're gonna try to forget that happened. Overhead, we've got this nice fan centrally located. Got some LED lights. There's also an LED light strip right across where separating the driver compartment. Rose will show you. There it is. Hi, Rose. We like that feature. It provides a lot of light in here. You also got the AC unit, which is just about 6 feet off the floor. You know, the reason I know that is because I can feel it right on my head. While we're up here on the ceiling, you can see there's the Truma water heater and these power switches, LED lights on off, and that turns the inverter on and off. Also, you've got the controls, more control heads for the various systems inside the coach. Down below the pedestal here, we got the refrigerator. Now this is a nice, I like this fridge. It's stainless steel. It's got a really substantial locking mechanism. It's pretty decent size. This is a little bigger than what we would call glorified dorm fridges. It does have the freezer in the refrigerator compartment, but that's rather large for a Class B. I like that. And looks like what does it say? Vitrifrigo? All right. My half-ass pronunciation skills.
I'll zoom in on it.
Yeah, zoom in on it so they can tell what that is. That seems pretty substantial and heavy duty. Now, what is this we're looking at, Rose? Oh yeah, Rose loves this. This is as far as it comes out though. But not bad. We love having the extra counter space whenever we can get it, especially when you've got a kitchen pedestal that's in a Class B where you're kind of limited in what you can do size-wise. They do have a Dometic cooktop here, dual liquid propane cooktop, Dometic. Very nice. Let's look at the sink. A smallish sink, not too deep, but it's got a nice high faucet. That helps. And it also prevents the splashing. I like this material. This is like a Corian. Is that our word for a Corian countertop? And then you've also got a window here across from there. And then you've got this, it's not a vent hood, it's just glass to protect the LED lights, but it makes for easier cleaning. That way you're not getting like grease and stuff up underneath the cabinet. And while we're talking about the cabinet, yeah, you got some storage here. Not very deep, but there is a coax cable and a 120 outlet in there. And then you've got a very small microwave, just big enough for a plate. You got another coax here with an HDMI plug at 120, and you have USB A and C ports right here. As we move back, we've got another Widowmaker. Rose, look down at my feet. This one almost took me out again. All right, this is going back. This is a rear bath unit. So I understand why that lip is there, because they want to keep water out of the coach, but you got to be careful walking through here. Before we go back to the bathroom though, let's talk about some more storage. Got this compartment here with adjustable shelves and more stapled drawers with no locks. And then you've got this nice hinges. I like the hinges, but it's just, now this one has a magnet lock on it, so that's going to be held in place pretty well. And then these drawers over here, they're not the largest. You'd have trouble fitting pots and pans in here. Yeah, not the largest. And Rose is pointing out the two like kind of elastic storage areas there along the side of the kitchen pedestal. And then we've got the bathroom doors. Yeah, in a minute, I just want to, these doors slide in. I'm not going to do it right now. They're all elasticed up, but they're pretty well secured where they're not going to open up in transit. All right, we're going to flip around so I can show you the bathroom. In the back, we've got the standard rear bath, a large wardrobe on top. This is pretty standard. We've seen this a million times. Toilet paper holder is in here in the middle of this drawer, or in the middle of this door. And then two very large drawers. But really, this is your only clothing storage. 2 drawers and a wardrobe. It's not a lot of space, but it's a Class B. We're kind of expecting that. You can see the shower pan here. It's got this kind of thatch thing on the floor. You've got a plastic cassette toilet. There's no black tank in this unit. The faucet and the shower wand you've got right there. This one actually has a medicine cabinet, and the sink is hidden back here. Whoa, there we go. Sink is hidden back here. It fills with water. You dump it up and it goes into the drain there, and you've got the faucet. Pretty standard Class B rear bath, and you've got some power switches here which are protected from water, which is a nice feature. Rose and I aren't big fans of the rear baths, but they do allow them, the manufacturers, to really use the space in a good way. And I'll be honest with you, it feels less like a cave in here than some of those units that have the bath on the side. At least it's open. You can see you've got the shower curtain here, and the track runs all the way around. So this is the shower area. You could actually stand and shower in here, although most people, I believe, would be sitting to do that. It gets everything wet, you just wipe it down in the toilet and the shower pan. Underneath the cabinets, you've got some more electric out back. You've got the cigarette lighter plug. Your water pump switch is right here, and your light switch. Now that's kind of an odd placement for the water pump switch, because when this door is shut, you're gonna have to reach in between the door. Let me see how tight this is. It's pretty tight. You can get your arm in there. It's just a weird placement for the water pump switch. And then you've got a quick connect hose connect right there. Lightweight hose connect. And a little bit more wet storage down there. And of course the cassette for the toilet. All right, let's look around the side. On the driver's side, you've got a city fill right here at the back and a nice outdoor light. Also, you've got a fill that allows you to fill your freshwater tank without a threaded hose connection. You can fill this with containers. And that's always a nice feature to have, especially if you're out boondocking or you're in a national park or a kind of primitive campground that doesn't have threaded hose connections on their spigots, and you have to use containers to fill it. That's a good feature. You've got a vent for the water heater. Here's your umbilical for your shore power. There's a sewer hose storage down there. There are cable TV hookups and other hookups, propane fill, and I'm looking to see where the gray tank dump is. Do you see it, Rose? Hang on, we're gonna find it. All right, we found the gray tank drain. I'm gonna have to get on my knees to do it. We're back at the back of the coach, and here it is. It's up underneath. Here's the gate valve and the hose. It kind of runs to the tank, which is right here, and then the hose would come out right next to the exhaust for the generator. There is a generator up under there, as you probably saw in the spec sheet that we put up on the screen earlier. We like the styling of the Rize. Overall, it's a really nice compact unit. It's got everything you would need as a solo traveler, definitely. Maybe a couple who are very close, because that bed isn't the largest. It is bare bones, but it is also priced at a one of the lowest price points of all the Class Bs that we've seen. As far as the reliability goes, you know, we've heard bad things. We've also heard some good things, but mostly bad things. So in all honesty, and we have to talk about the elephant in the room. You can see for yourself, we have always had questions about Thor's cabinets quality and some of, you know, those window shades inside. But remember, you're getting what you're paying for. And these are some sacrifices that some people will make to pay, you know, thousands less for their RV. You just have to decide what's important to you. All right, now we're moving on to another Thor Class B. The next motorhome we're looking at is the Thor Tellaro 20A. This one's a couple of feet longer than the Rize 18M that we looked at before. Just off the bat, you can see it's got that just plain styling, but there's a lot of accents in there. We like the gray with the black accents. It is a nice looking coach. And while we're talking about it, we've got that same awning that's got the LED light on the van side rather than on the extended side. It's a regular style awning and it runs the entire length of the van. So that is an excellent feature. We really like that. Are we ready to go inside?
Ready.
All right, let's do it. Manual door. We mentioned that. Bug screen, pretty standard. Again, the same running board step to get inside. The same Widowmaker step. Actually, it's a different Widowmaker step because this one has a curve to it. And it also has this black on here. So maybe it'd be easier to see. So maybe, except in the middle of the night, we wouldn't be falling over it. Right inside, you got the battery switch and a 120 and also your fire extinguisher, as well as a grab handle. And what is this for, Rose? Any ideas?
Probably my keys or my little towel holder.
That's exactly where we keep our keys. So yeah. I'm not even going to bother going up into the driver's compartment, but I will tell you these leather seats are especially soft and comfortable. They're beautiful. It has the same cockpit as in the last unit, but man, these seats are really nice. It's got the overhead storage above the driver's compartment, but where the other one had a vent here, this one's got a huge skylight, and as you can see, it's open, and you can even access the roof from up here. In fact, let's show you what's up on the roof since we got it open. There you go. Take a look at the solar. Got the AC unit up there, among other things. That was a nice little bonus. Let's talk about these seats behind the driver's side, because we've seen, like in the Echo and the Revel, we've seen these seats and they're double seats and they split apart. This is a little tight. If you've got two travelers, there's no way to split these seats apart. The one traveler is going to be jammed up here into the window. The other one's going to be right there. So if you've got kids, you're going to get that, he's touching me, he's touching me, he's touching me. You can tell I grew up with 3 brothers and sisters. So yeah, this is a little bit tight. For 2 adults, it would probably be a challenge. You're going to need to be very close. Also, we talked about these windows in the last coach, and they're the same plasticky windows, but it has a little pin here to keep the window from opening. So that's the locking, or an additional locking mechanism. Although that also, there's a reason why this pin is here. Watch, with the snap there, it pulls the screen. That's a neat little feature that you can have the window open or with the screen. I believe the other one had that as well. It's got this same shade mechanism that is just, looks like it's just attached. And if you're sitting in this seat, this is really uncomfortable. This is right into my ribs, and there's no real way to rest your arm here. I just don't see the comfort of this style of seat. It's just, it's not for me. And I don't think Rose would be able to do it either. Underneath here, we've got additional storage, pretty deep storage, stapled drawers. There's a vent down there that you can see. And there's also a storage space. Actually, this is, you could use it for a little bit of storage, but there's a water pump under there. The water fittings for winterizing. It's all right there under this seat. Does this cushion come up? Nope. And you can see it's got the seat belts here. So it's all set for travel. What's this little thing, huh? I guess that releases the TV. So this TV comes out and I guess can be rotated so you can view it in the back, sort of. It's not, doesn't quite make it all the way. You could watch it, you couldn't watch from this seat either. That's weird placement of the TV. Although it is locked in here pretty good. It's an Insignia TV. I don't know, it's kind of odd though. The same non-locking cabinet with some nice hinges. Now, this cabinet goes all the way back behind the TV. You see how far my arm reaches. There's a coax plug back here, I can feel it, and there's also electric back there. So it is a nice big cabinet. It's only got the one door though, and it doesn't lock. Up inside, pretty much the same setup. You got your water heater and inverter switches, except you have this controls panel. This is a little bit of an upgrade from the Rize. That one had all the manual controls. This one has everything on this screen, which we like. We have that in our unit as well. The sink in the kitchen is pretty standard size, not the largest. It's not the deepest, but it does have the high faucet that Rose likes. But what doesn't it have, Rose? Yeah, where's her extra counter space? You could have put it there. There was room. These drawers are big though. That's pretty nice. Once again, stapled drawers. So they're not gonna last as long as some of the others. And they don't lock. There's a little bit of a friction to pull them open, but I guarantee you put any weight in these drawers, they're gonna be coming open while you're driving. It's just a fact. It's another, you know, you got to wonder what they're thinking. This cabinet actually looks bigger than it is because it's got all of this, it's got electronics behind it. There is a single electric for the microwave, but no others, so you couldn't put anything in there to charge. It does have this nice pillar. We always like to see that. It's got a USB-A and USB-C and your GFCI plug. That's nice to have if you're going to be using appliances on your countertop. And then this one has, actually, it looks to be about the same size refrigerator as the last unit. Okay, I'm trying to open it. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Oh, kind of like the little blue LED in there. That's different. I don't know, is this one as big as the last one, Rose?
I don't think so.
It certainly does not have the nice stainless steel door. This is a Norcold refrigerator. All right, and across from the kitchen,
Wait.
did we look at the microwave?
Where's the
Cooktop. That's a good question, Rose. I don't see a cooktop.
I don't either.
Leave it to Rose to discover that. Now, sometimes we see these units and they come with a portable cooktop that can go on the counter and plug in, and that may be why this pedestal's here, but I don't see the portable cooktop. That's a pretty big, pretty deep compartment there. There's also plugs there, and another narrow but deep wardrobe. You could fit a jacket in there, probably. Maybe two. I don't know. It's not a lot of space. All right, let's talk about this bathroom, because this is, you ever seen those old telephone booths? You know, like in London, the red ones? This could probably fit inside one of those telephone booths. This is tiny, and it's got this kind of sliding door on here. You got to wonder, why not just use one of those shower doors that rolls up on itself so this space could be open? You know, this is just, you're wasting space by having this in there. It's already claustrophobic as it is. I mean, let me stand in there. Okay. Yeah. So this is it. This is all the room I have in here to shower. I just don't see it happening. I think what I would have to do is I would have to spray soap on all the walls and then just spin around, and then I'd be clean. What do you think, Rose? Can you picture that in your head?
No.
For those of you watching at home, please try not to picture that in your head, because we don't want anybody getting sick on us. Right? All right, let's get back to this, Rose. Come on. Let me show you this. Let me show you this medicine cabinet. It is a pretty substantial size, and it does go around the back with the mirror on the front. And here's the shower wand. It's got the flip up sink, and it's got the faucet, and it's also got some completely unusable shelves. I don't understand why we would even have those cutouts there. I guess you could use them while you were actually showering, but you have to keep putting stuff up there and taking it down anytime you drive, because nothing's going to stay on those shelves. And then we also have the plastic. It looks like a cassette toilet. We'll verify it when we go around back. Plastic, but it does rotate around. But again, I mean, to sit in here, let's do this too. Yeah. Ow. I hit my head here. So yeah, this is the position. Yeah. All right, not a fan, sorry. Not my thing. If you don't mind, if
Spend a lot of time in that bathroom.
that's true, you do not spend a lot of time in the bathroom. But if you don't mind that tight bathroom, I mean, again, they're making do with the space that they have. But we have to point it out to you. Very large storage cabinets in the back. You can see I'm having to hold these up. This is what we're talking about, Thor. Come on. Come on, you can do better than this. I know you can. There's a USB A and C plug right there in the wall. So if you're storing stuff that needs to be on charge, you can do that. And then we've got these cabinets. Oh my gosh. Right here. We're not feeling it. Just not feeling it. Okay, so here's the bed system. We're going to call it a bed system because it is a bed.
Oh, look.
Yeah, this is not a storage compartment.
It's already ruined.
That looks like the inverter. Yeah, it looks like there's a switch, power transfer switch, and some other electronics down there. Yeah, I mean, technically a couch. Maybe a couch. You can use it as a couch if you're... Don't worry about your neck being creaked. Usually when you have two twin beds, you can use them as some kind of sofa, but not in this case. But it does make a very large bed across the way. Once you extend this, that's a pretty large bed. So that's always a plus to see that. Oh, and there we go. Does this rotate up? Yes. Okay. And then underneath here, you've got a little bit of storage. These are very, almost like balsa wood, very lightweight, but it's protected by this cage, so that maybe that's why they use such a lightweight material. You got storage, clothing storage under there, very lightweight, metal. Using metal on those adjustments, it's going to rattle a lot. I don't know. There's your breaker box and panel, and then a little more storage there next to the electrical. And we're going to move back. More of these storage bays. And this storage can be accessed from this side and also from the back. We're going to go around back and show you that. But before we do that, let's talk about, there's just the air conditioning back here. Again, right at 6 feet. Yep, 6 feet. And then you got your carbon monoxide smoke detector. All right, in the rear, we've got the swinging door, and this door goes a pretty good distance. It would go all the way out, except that the slide is deployed, so I'm not going further. What did I say, slide? Oh my God, I got slides on the brain. The awning is extended. You got a venting here, and this is the door I was talking about that you can access from either side, and you can see the drain outlets in there. Cigarette lighter, 120 volt. Water pump switch, again in a very odd place. Light switch. Quick connect for the hose. And that's pretty much it. You got these small little storage. I don't even know what you would store in here. Maybe wheel chocks or something. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Pretty bare bones. Of course, you got the backup camera, and you can see the AC unit up there. I think if we go back around here, Rose, follow me. There is some electric outside. Yes. 120, got your cable TV. And that's pretty much on this side. Let's go to the driver's side. Again, this is the non-threaded water fill. The threaded water fill, venting. Here's the cassette toilet dump. This is a light. It's off right now, but there's a light here. That's nice to have when you're doing your setup and tear down. Another vent, umbilical for shore power. This is probably coax, be my guess. Of course it is. Propane fill. Here's the sewer outlet connection. Now this one is behind a locked plastic door, but you can see the gray tank gate valve is right there. I don't see a sewer hose storage. Let me look around the back and see if there's one back there. I do see a generator up under there, but I don't see a sewer hose storage pipe. So this one doesn't have that. And then it's got a short running board up here. And that's that for the driver's side. The Tellaro or Tellaro? Tellaro. whichever way you pronounce it, Thor. I apologize for butchering the name, but it is a little bit larger than the Rize. It's got some things that we, you know, would allow a little bit more versatility when you're out there. Remember, you're adding 2 feet to it, so you're going to see that extra space in certain areas. The bench here would be inconvenient for travel. You could sort of use it for living, but basically, if you're going to be using this RV or getting this RV, unless you're sleeping in it, you're going to be spending most of your time outside. I can tell you that. There's not much inside unless you rotate the front seats around. That's really the only hangout area, and we love to have a hangout area inside, especially if you run into bad weather. It's important. But overall, we have the same issues with this unit as we have with all of the Thor units we see. It looks like the cabinets, the shades, just the components seem a little bit on the cheap and lightweight side. These ProMasters have a lot of cargo capacity, and we show that at the beginning. Compared to the Mercedes chassis, for example. So they can add a little more weight in here, add a little bit more substantial cabinet space without hindering that cargo capacity too much. So we'll hope they're listening, and we'll do that for us. All right, now we're gonna move on to the next one. It figures the next unit we're looking at is another one I can't pronounce. It's the same, Tellaro, the Thor Tellaro 20L. If it's Tellaro, it's the 20L. This one is also the same length as the last one we looked at. It's a different floor plan. And I gotta say, just a brief look at what's inside. I think this is the first one that we could actually see ourselves living in, or at least having some inside space that is actually usable. So let's go inside and take a look at what I'm talking about. It's got the same setup outside with the awning and the LED lights on the van side, the same door, but as soon as you open the door, you notice that there's the similarities are ending there. You've got the zipper down screen, but this one actually has an outdoor table. And I want you to look at this mechanism, because what Thor is using on these mechanisms is, it's kind of like, if you get underneath, you can see it. It's like the one post is inside the other post, and when it goes up, it locks, and then to unlock it, you just pull it out and it goes down. That's very clever. It seems pretty stable. I don't know how that would last over time or how much weight it would take. It seems like if that thing just slipped a little, it might lower the table unexpectedly. I don't know, I'm not too familiar with it. If any of you have a unit that has that mechanism, let us know how it works for you, because we're kind of interested. I like the floor in here. I like the wood grain floor. It's got the same Widowmaker step with the 2 drawers, and these are the same size from the first one, staple drawers. But look, this is a nice little feature, especially if you're going to rotate the passenger seat around, because it has another table on this side with the same mechanism. It seems pretty sturdy. I don't know, there's a spring in here that's locking it in. It's not bad. But that table's usable if you rotate the passenger seat around. There's also a USB A and C plug and a 120 plug at the bottom of that pedestal. Driving compartment, identical to the last unit. The same nice plush, soft leather seats, and the same storage compartment up over the driver's side. Let's talk about this kitchen. This is the largest workspace we've seen so far, even with the one unit that had the Rize that had the pull-out countertop. This is really nice. Rose saw this and she's like, I could use that. It's got the same pedestal, the pop-up power. It's got could have a larger sink, but it's got the same faucet.
It should have a larger sink.
I agree, it should have a larger sink. There's plenty of room for it. And it also should have a larger fridge, although this is the Norcold fridge. This is more like what we're accustomed to. It's kind of small.
Very small.
Yeah, a dorm fridge. The drawers, however, are pretty large.
Really flimsy.
It's the same Thor drawers. Oh, this one is pretty large. This one actually is a pot and pan drawer. And this one as well. And then, yeah, nothing around here. Wait a minute, there's a place to hold your keys here, or whatever else you want to hang there, a washcloth or whatever. A small microwave, tiny microwave. Same cabinets. No locks. Relatively deep, but no locks. You know how much we love those. And these cabinets go all the way to the back. Pretty sizable for clothing storage. More storage, and there's plenty of power in there. There's an HDMI cable, the USB A and C, you got the 120, you got a coax. And yeah, this goes all the way through, just like the other side. Kind of mirrors it, maybe a little shorter. And then it's got the TV here. Now this TV is actually makes sense to be on this swivel because you can actually see this from the living area and from the bedroom. What, the driver's side?
You could see it from the driver's seat too if you turned it around having lunch.
Yeah, yeah. The living area, yeah, yes. You could sit in the front seats, rotate it around and watch the TV. Now, if you look at the driver's seat, you're not going to really be able to rotate that completely around. Yeah. But you can kind of be, I don't know. It's not the most comfortable of spaces, although it is usable space, and we talked about that before. And let's talk more about usable space, because this has an actual couch that I could sit in without bashing my noggin. And there are some speakers up under here, so you can listen to music. It looks like a light switch over there. This is a nice hangout space. You can sit here, you can put your feet up. The windows are beautiful. You got these huge windows. Now they got the shades that we don't really care for too much, but the windows are nice. And there's another huge window on this side. So as far as all the Bs we've seen, this is really the first one that really brings the outdoors in. This is a beautiful unit. One thing we really like about this twin bed setup is if you've got your partner has the Jimmy legs, you don't have to worry about them hitting you with their Jimmy legs. But also, a lot of times you'll see they add this mechanism. You see this? It raises the head.
Oh, so you won't be snoring in
Yes,
anymore.
right. Now, this one doesn't seem, it's not the, it raises the head up, all right? And that's really nice to have, especially if you're lying in bed watching TV, reading, and you want to lie down. I mean, that is a really nice feature. Let's see, does it have it on this side too? It certainly does. So yes, we are big fans of this configuration. You can see it's got the lagoon table. Now, this thing looks like something you could really bash your leg on if that was up, but because this is hanging over it, you're not going to be bashing really your leg. That's a mount for the lagoon table, and it's in the perfect spot because it'll be right between the two beds. In fact, here's the lagoon table itself and the mount for it. So you've got storage up under here. That's nice to have. This is an access point for the panel and the breaker box. And then it says here, and this is not a storage compartment, I imagine there are electronics, and that's the wheel well under there. And you see this, right? Not only is there a cushion here, we really, that's a nice use, nice technology. It makes that bed a little bit softer, and it makes it actually, these beds are a lot softer than they look because of that. Up underneath this one, it got this access panel for the electronics, but no other storage under there. And then this is access panel for, it looks like the inverter is under there. So this is not storage underneath. All the storage is overhead. Those are just access panels. But usable indoor space. We like it. This one doesn't have the skylight. It has the fan, and it's got the AC in the ceiling. We don't miss the skylight because we've got these huge windows on both sides. Really nice. This is also a rear bath unit, so we're going to go around and show you that as well. All right, we got the standard rear bath setup. Same wardrobe here. Same two clothing drawers. Identical to the other units that we looked at that had the rear bath. Plastic toilet. It appears to be a cassette toilet. Once again, we'll verify when we go around. Actually, this unit might have a black tank, just looking at it from this angle.
It has a pedal.
Yeah, that's the flush. That's the sink, standard. Same sink, same medicine cabinet, and the shower wand. And the same sliding doors in. And these are pretty secure. They're not rattling, at least. Also, you got the fan overhead and the light switch. All right, let's solve the toilet mystery. Before we go around and show you that this is actually, yes, a black tank unit, This is a 120 volt plug, cigarette lighter. Again, the water pump and light switch, quick connect, a little bit of wet storage. And now here's where we solved the mystery. Bum, bum, bum. There it is. Yep, wastewater holding tank. And you can see the gate valve is pointed out to the right there. Right there's your connection. Here's your threaded water connection. And another light back here that gives you light when you're working. That's huge. Got some venting there. Your city water fills right there. That's probably a flush. If I were a betting man, I'd say that's a flush if they've got the city water fills here. Also, you've got your umbilical for shore power. You've got a sewer hose storage, which is nice to have. The propane right there. And your little mini running board, just enough to get you into the driver's compartment. And then look down here. Look at all these windows. Runs the entire length of the coat. Yeah, that's available at no extra charge. That's right. But yeah, it's actually, of all the ones we've seen so far, I think this is one that we could actually live in. All right, let me rephrase that. Rose and I actually had a conversation off camera. No, Rose couldn't live in this. As many of you know who follow our channel, I am much more of a bigger fan of these Class Bs than Rose is. Rose is all about the space. In fact, right behind her at the show, you want to show them, hon? That is actually the RV we own. I mean, it's not the exact RV. This is the model that we own. And every time I start talking about how much I like these Class Bs, Rose just walks over there and gets in the recliner and reminds me of how nice it is to have that extra space. But that being said, if you are looking for a Class B, I think of the three we've looked at so far, this is one we could actually see ourselves in. Just because of that couch and twin bed setup. We are really big fans of that. We're not so much big fans of the rear bath, although it is kind of growing on me a little bit, just because it's a lot nicer than that phone booth one that we saw in the other unit. If you had to pick between those two, I would definitely take the rear bath. All right, let's look at the last unit that we're going to look at today. The last unit we're looking at is the 2025 Thor Dazzle 2 LB. This unit is almost identical to the Tellaro we just looked at in setup, but it's about $10,000 less in price. Why? Well, we're going to show you. Come on inside. The first thing is there's no awning. This one is an awningless unit. So start, if you're calculating at home, start to make the calculations of where you're saving that $10,000. The door's identical, as is the running board. This is the same table mechanism that we saw in the other unit, although this one has a wood grain. The other one kind of had like kind of mica-ish. You can see the color's a little darker in here. This pedestal, though, is identical, just except in finish. Same thing with the power underneath. Now, here's another place where the similarities are different. This is, you can see they're cloth seats. We don't have that soft leather seat. Now, a lot of you say, so what? I cover the seats anyway. You know, if you use seat covers, then you're really not going to care if the front seats are leather or not. They are pretty soft. They just don't have that plush feel like we saw in the other ones. There's also another big difference here. You see it, Rose?
Oh, I do.
The cooktop. Mm-hmm. Now, the other one's cooktop, I don't remember seeing it, do you? It was conspicuously absent. This one's got the twin burner propane cooktop right here. And it's also got the same sink, although look at this faucet. Now, this is the cheaper of the two units. This is a nice faucet. I like the look, although it is plastic, so that's probably why. But it looks nice. So, yeah, it's nice looking. Now, also, look at the shades that they're using. They don't have the flip-down shades. These are zipper shades. But I got to tell you, the other ones, they weren't such high quality either. This is not, it's not necessarily a deal breaker. I do like the color of the countertops in contrast to the cabinets. Got the same pedestal here. All these drawers are the same. This is the same pedestal in the other unit. Same refrigerator in the other unit. Looks like the same microwave, although this one, I don't remember, was the other one chrome? Might have been black. And the cabinets are different. Check this out. All right, the other one, as you remember, had those curved cabinets. These are kind of the standard wood cabinets. They are substantial hinges on them, and they're soft close.
Oh, yes.
But they don't lock. But they seem pretty sturdy compared to the other ones. They're staying there. I think it's because they're a little bit more lightweight. But it looks like this is all the same, and it's just got a different door on it, although the other ones were curved. But you can see everything inside is pretty much the same as was in the last unit. It's just, I don't know if you prefer the other cabinets or you prefer these cabinets. Is it worth 10 grand to you? Same vent, same AC unit. This one's just around 6 feet again. This has the manual controls, whereas the other one had the push button or the touch screen. And then the same controls that we saw in the Rize. Same beds that we saw. Let's see if it's got the, yep. Everything's the same under here. So this is identical. Same cushiony stuff. It's got these windows. Beautiful windows. Yeah, I mean, livable space. Like always. And it's got the same rear bath. I don't think we need to show you another rear bath. I will show you that there's very briefly show you that there is a little bit difference on the fixtures. You see this one's got the dark shower nozzle. And everything else is pretty much the same. Same cabinets. You know, we did want to talk about one thing because this is a feature we almost missed, and we see this in a lot of the RVs. This underlighting. All right, it may not look like much here at the show, but when you're out in dark campgrounds or RV parks or out in the wilderness, it's good to have that light under there so you can see where you're standing and where you're stepping. It's really helpful, especially if you don't have an awning light. And I suspect that this one has the lights under there because there is no awning light. So at least you have some light. You've got electric on the side, pretty much standard with the coax and other connections. And it's the same setup as the Tellaro. Also has the black tank. Right there, somebody's got the cap off the black tank. That's brave. And your flush out, your water connections, your umbilicals, your sewer hose storage, propane, no running board. You see that there's no running board on this side. So that's another difference. You know, that was very interesting to see. The unit that is priced $10,000 less expensive, really to us, still seemed like it would be usable for us. We really like this floor plan. There are some things here that, you know, with that no leather seats, you know, it doesn't have the stainless fixtures or the, you know, the higher end fixtures. And then it doesn't have those shades going up and down. No running board on the driver's side, which really, you know, we could take or leave that. Everything else is pretty much the same. So if you're on a budget, this is definitely a good option. Well, that concludes our look at these 4 small Class Bs from Thor. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, we hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you do subscribe, make sure you hit that bell for notifications so you'll be told every time we put out a new video. Also, if you leave us a like, it really helps support our channel with the YouTube algorithm. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And Rose is the queen of Instagram. Just ask her. Right, Rose? Yeah. All right. We can't wait to see you in our next video.